Hello, nice to have you join us on Newsroom series, reaching you from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Dominic Ibiwa, and today our focus will be on the southeastern region. But before we get into that, let's have a snippet of our top stories making rounds at the moment. Tragedy again struck in Igunshin community in Akure North local government area of Ondo State on Thursday, as gunmen killed a woman and her daughter, throwing the entire community into pandemonium. From information gathered from the locals, about 5 armed men stormed a poultry farm in the community at about 1 p.m., scaled the perimeter fence and launched the attack while the victims were working alongside other staff. 3 persons were reportedly abducted during the attack. The gravity of the attack was evidenced by the lifeless bodies of the poultry owner and her daughter, which were later discovered within the premises. Spokesperson of Ondo State Police Command DSP Abayomi Jimo confirmed the incident in a statement he issued on Friday, condemning the violent attack, but explaining also that 2 victims were rescued through a swift and coordinated operation. Elsewhere, also, no fewer than 8 persons have been killed following a late-night attack by gunmen in Mbwele village, Boko's local government area of Plateau State. The assailants reportedly stormed the community at about 11 p.m. on Thursday, shooting sporadically for nearly an hour. At least 3 others sustained injuries and several persons remain missing. Sources say most of the victims are members of the same family. In a phone conversation, the local government chairman, Mr. Sama Amalo, confirmed the incident to our correspondent and expressed concern over the recurring violence in the area. The chairman of the Community Peace Observers in Bokos said residents are angered by what they describe as failure of security operatives to respond promptly, revealing that some locals are already planning protests. He further alleged that security personnel were instead deployed to protect another community suspected to be the origin of the attackers. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer SP Alfred Alabo, who confirmed the attack, said investigations are ongoing and efforts are underway to restore calm in the area. The Catholic Diocese of Kotongora says no fewer than 24 people were killed in a recent attack on Debe village in Shanga local government area of Kebbi State. This figure sharply contradicts an early police report which placed the number of victims at just 4. Speaking in Yari Town, the Diocese Director of Social Communications, Reverend Father Matthew Stephen Kabirat, revealed that the attack occurred on Easter Sunday, April 5th, 2026 at about 5 p.m. when suspected terrorists stormed the community. He noted that the victims cut across different faiths, including Christians, Muslims and traditional worshippers, highlighting the widespread impact of violence. The diocese also disclosed that it is currently sheltering 491 internally displaced persons at St. Dominic Parish in Yari as affected residents continue to seek refuge. According to Reverend Father Kabirat, the diocese has documented the names of those killed as part of efforts to account for the victims.
Behind me, you will see large number of women, men and children who have fled from their homes and villages as a result of insecurity. These people are from some of the villages across River Niger, most especially from villages in Kebbi State, a village called Debe that was attacked on Easter Sunday at exactly 5 p.m. And some are also from Kilmo and other villages in Kebbi State. These people are here to seek for refuge, and we have listened from some of them what exactly, how exactly rather they feel, and what exactly do they want the government to do for them. Some of them have said in Hausa, but Musan the government, meaning we do not know whether we have government. So they are calling on the government to see that there is an end, there is a long-term solution to some of these insecurity problems, bedeviling our country, Nigeria. Imagine your son is here, or your daughter is here, or your father is here, or your wife or your husband is here, seeking refuge. It's actually a horrible and frustrating situation. So we are talking, we are calling on the government to see that insecurity has come to an end in our country, Nigeria.
Start off in Imo State, where the state's governor, Hope Uzodinma, says Nigeria is at a pivotal moment, warning that decisions taken now will determine the kind of country to be left for the next generation, as he praised the reform-driven leadership of President Bola Tinubu, which is focused on accountability, transparency and long-term national interest. The governor disclosed this in Owerri, the Imo State's capital, during the 15th edition of the Chief Emeka Anyaoku lecture series on good governance. He says President Tinubu had shown courage by embracing accountability, transparency and structural reforms in the interest of the common good, noting that such leadership requires making difficult but necessary decisions. Our correspondent Eitokwe Kute has the details in this report.
It is the 15th edition of the Chief Emeka Anyaoku lecture series on good governance. Owerri, the Imo State capital, hosts this year's event with the theme Imperative of Good Governance in Nigeria. In his opening remarks, chairman of the occasion, former governor of Old Anambra State, Senator Jim Nwobodo, calls for leadership driven by sacrifice, integrity, and commitment to national interest.
What we gather here today, not to lament, but to reflect, and more importantly, to recommend. Good governance is not a slogan. It is not a campaign promise. It is the architecture of national progress. It is the discipline of a leadership exercised with integrity, guided by law and anchored in service to the people. At the heart of good governance demands three things. One, accountability. That those entrusted with public office must remain answerable to the people, not only in terms of elections, but in the daily conduct of their lives and their duties.
Giving the keynote lecture titled Citizenship in Good Governance, Trading Blame for Action, Vice Chancellor of the Chukwuemeka Ojukwu University, Anambra State, Professor Faith Omenuha, stresses that Nigeria's governance challenges also stem from poor citizenship, urging Nigerians to move from blame to action.
Citizen represents an active commitment to community, responsibility, and service rather than just a legal status. I want to say that Nigeria's governance crisis is not only a leadership crisis, it is also a citizenship crisis. If we clamor for political and institutional reforms, citizenship reform is also imperative. Citizenship means participation, tax responsibility, respect for law, community service, holding leaders accountable, voting wisely, rejecting vote buying, protecting public assets, speaking up against injustice. The conversation will continue. Like my chair said, this is part of the conversation. Nigeria we seek will not be built on critics alone, but by citizens ready to contribute their quota through their positive actions.
Convener of the event, former Commonwealth Secretary General Chief Emeka Anyaoku, says the lecture series, initiated 16 years ago, was designed to inspire young people and promote national development.
When the representatives of the Youth Affairs International, the organizers of this lecture series, approached me 16 years ago to seek my agreement to their plan to establish this lecture series in my name, and they told me it was for the benefit of the young people. I readily agreed because of my commitment to youth development and to the development of our country, Nigeria.
The Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, in his address, says despite inheriting economic challenges, the Tinubu administration has chosen structural reforms over temporary solutions, which can be likened to the ideals of elder statesman Chief Emeka Anyaoku, whom he describes as the epitome of good governance.
Chief Anyaoku, you are the diplomat's diplomat. You are the elder statesman whose wisdom Nigeria and Africa still urgently need. And it is fitting that this lecture series bears your name. Nigeria is at a pivotal moment. The decisions we make now will determine what kind of country we leave to the next generation. That is why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown the courage to make the hard decisions. He has chosen accountability, he has chosen transparency, he has chosen structural reform, he has chosen the common good over personal interests. That is the path Chief Anyokun blazed throughout his career. That is the path we must continue to follow.
While looking forward to 16th edition in 2027, participants of this year's lecture series agreed that good governance in Nigeria requires both strong leadership and responsible citizenship. Edito Kakute, Channels Television News.
We head to the coast city where the state government of Enugu has flagged off the construction of the administrative block, classrooms and 176-bed hostel for the Enugu State College of Nursing Sciences, Oji River Campus, and the construction of a 200-bed hostel at the State College of Nursing Sciences, Augu. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony and on behalf of the governor, the special advisor to the governor, Dr. Yomi Jai, reiterated the government's commitment to completing structures in record time, especially for Oji River, where they intend to admit the first set of students into the Oji River campus before the end of 2026.
Amid an air of anticipation and renewed hope, management, students, government officials and residents of Augu gather to witness the groundbreaking of a 200-bed hostel at the College of Nursing Sciences, Augu, a project many describe as long-awaited and deeply impactful. Provost of the Augu College of Nursing, Dr. Peace Annie, describes the initiative as more than bricks and mortar, but a functional facility where students and faculty alike can give their very best to the noble art of nursing.
Today we are here to see this great change, that our students will have a place to reside while they receive their training. We appreciate you all. All we need ask for is your total support, security and commitment to the work. As our children are here training, we assure you as educators and people that mentor nurses for the future health service delivery that will do our best to make sure they get the best in their profession.
For the State House Committee Chairman on Health, Okechukwu Aneke, the administration of Governor Peter Mba is planting seeds of transformation in healthcare education, a big step towards achieving a healthier future. He charges the contractor and stakeholders to match the government's vision with diligence and excellence.
I want you to take full ownership of that project. Ensure that you give the contractors, the institution, give them the maximum support they deserve. And also the contractors, I want to encourage you to do diligent work here. You know, we are also going to exercise our legislative function, right? We are going to oversight your work. So at various stages, we are going to monitor what you are doing.
Meanwhile, at the Oji River campus, where an administrative block, classrooms and a 176-bed hostel are taking shape, the people stand united, pledging unwavering support for the success of the project.
Here, we have demonstrated ownership of this project because we are all here thanking His Excellency the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, for bringing this laudable project to Oji River. And one of the things we are doing here is to promise that we will make sure that our communities will take ownership of it and that the project will be secured. We'll also be part of the supervision of this project to make sure that there's adequate and make sure that there's good standard and the integrity of the project. These are the things we are committing.
The government pledges firm commitment to delivering the projects within record time, paving the way for the admission of new students eager to answer the call to care.
You know, construction, rain and all that, we put plus or minus forward, right? So we look at about 20 weeks, 16 to 20 weeks. That's the timeline of the project. You know the reason? The reason is very simple. We want to get the school accredited. We want to admit the first set before the end of this year. Right. So if we don't get it ready, we'll not even be able to equip, we'll not even be able to complete the process of accreditation. So that's our timeline. And His Excellency is committed to supporting the people that are doing the job.
A 4-month timeline has been set for the projects, reflecting the Enugu State government's unwavering resolve to strengthen healthcare education, uplift students' welfare, and nurture a new generation of skilled, compassionate nursing professionals.
You're watching Newsroom series on Channels Television. Right after this break, we'll bring you more stories making the headlines within the southeastern region. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, residents of Ihie Isuochi in Umunochi local government area of Abia State are calling on Governor Alex Oti to urgently intervene in what they describe as over 2 decades of neglect. The community says a major access road has become nearly impassable, crippling daily life and economic activities.
It was a peaceful protest in Ihie Autonomous Community, Sochi, as residents took to the streets to demand urgent government intervention on their only major access road. Carrying placards with messages such as Governor Alex Oti, save Ihie Sochi, a road is a death trap and action now. Please come to our aid. The protesters decried the deplorable state of the 8-kilometer Ihie road, which they say has remained neglected for more than 20 years.
We need help. Governor, we need help.
According to the residents, the road is riddled with potholes, erosion, muddy stretches and broken sections, making movement extremely difficult for farmers, traders, school children and motorists, especially during the rainy season.
In this community, we don't have access road to enter the community. In this community, we don't have health care center. In this community, we don't have electricity. We don't have any transformer. In this community, we don't have any town hall. Please, we are supporting our executive governor, Mr. Alex Oti. Please come to our rescue, especially to walk our road. We need electricity.
Community leaders also highlight the absence of other basic amenities such as electricity and a functional health center. And the poor road network has made it harder for pregnant women and sick persons to access urgent medical care.
We are not happy. That is why we are here. We are not happy. How can a whole community be cut off from every other place in Isoch? It's not done. If you go now, you see where we park our cars, park our bikes. In another man's community, it's not done. And then the contractors are not paying attention to it. And it's like they are almost done with the job. They are about leaving. And then we will not have access to our community. So that is why we are here. We are asking the governor to please let him extend the project that he's doing, that road, to our own community.
We are calling the state government to come and help us because our people are dying. Our people are suffering, passing serious difficulty because of entrance, because of this road. We are just begging him to come and help us out. There is no other road. This road leads to Enugu. This road leads to Enugu Express Road. The only sure and better way for us to access our living. We are begging the state government to come and rescue us.
For the people of Ihie Usochi, fixing the road goes beyond ease of movement. They insist it is vital for restoring access to health care, improving livelihoods, and reconnecting the community to the rest of the state. They are now urging the Abia state government to respond swiftly to their appeal.
Residents of Imo State have commended the administration of Governor Hope Uzodimma for what they describe as a significant transformation in infrastructure over the past 6 years. This commendation follows ongoing road rehabilitation projects across major streets in Owerri, particularly the busy Douglas Road, which was previously marked by potholes and flooded pavements. Our correspondent Itobe Kute returns with this report.
Despite recent heavy rainfall, construction activities continue across key parts of Owerri, the Imo State capital, particularly the ever-busy Douglas Road, the Jacob Zuma Road, and the Ikenegbu Business District. Many residents say the improvements have enhanced mobility and economic activity, noting that road infrastructure in the state has not seen this level of development in years.
Talking about Governor doing this, doing that, you're supposed to know that this man is a talk-and-do governor. You know, Senator Hope Uzodimma is a talk-and-do governor. I'll tell you the truth. Since my life and since I started coming to Imo State, this time around, since the regime of Hope Uzodimma, you know, wonderful things are happening in Imo State. Look at infrastructures, you know, look at road networking is super.
The road is so good. We are happy about what the governor is doing. We are very happy.
Infrastructure development across various sectors of the Imo State economy remains a priority to the Hope Uzodimma administration, which has constructed over 130 roads across the state, reconnecting communities that were previously inaccessible. The governor reiterates that the welfare of the people remains a top priority.
In 2019, Imo was in turmoil. Imo State was in turmoil. Insecurity was rife. Infrastructure had collapsed. Investors fled. Civil servants were owed salaries. Pensioners were dying without receiving their entitlements. The state was in crisis. Today, I'm happy to inform you that the story has changed. We have constructed roads, over 130, opening up communities that have been cut off for decades, commissioning and has commissioned the Orashi Power Project. Today in Nigeria, we pay the highest minimum wage, 104,000. Because we believe that every worker deserves a living wage. We have equipped hospitals. Our people enjoy one of the best health insurance schemes in the country. We have built and renovated schools, created an enabling environment for businesses to flourish.
The ongoing projects highlight a renewed focus on infrastructure as a driver of development, with residents expressing optimism that sustained investment will further improve living standards and boost.
The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has assured his supporters that he will soon respond to calls for him to contest the 2027 Abia governorship election, saying the announcements will be made in Umuahia, the Abia State's capital. Honorable Kalu, who is serving his second term in the National Assembly, made the remarks during the inauguration of the Ikeoha movement at Eruku Urata in Isialangwa North Local Government area of Abia State, where residents across political parties gathered in large numbers, urging him to declare interest in the 2027 election. While addressing party supporters, including defectors from the Labour Party, he said he would make his decision known at the appropriate time. More on infrastructural development as part of fulfilling the People's Charter of Needs. The Ebonyi State Governor, Francis Nwifuru, has commissioned multiple projects across the Ebonyi North Senatorial District. The projects, which include internal rural roads with solar lights, houses for indigent women, and fully renovated 5 classroom blocks aimed at improving the learning environment for pupils and enhancing access to quality basic education across the state, was facilitated by the Senate Deputy Chief Whip, Senator Peter Onyekachi Ebonyi.
Community leaders and residents turn out to celebrate several key milestone projects, facilitated by the senator representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District and Deputy Senate Chief Whip Peter Ebonyi. Governor Francis Weferu is represented at the commissioning by the Ebonyi State Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Stanley Okuremera, who leads a state working committee and other political stakeholders on a tour of the various projects sponsored by the Deputy Senate Chief Whip across Abakaliki, Izi, and Ebonyi local government areas.
Like you can see, in the course of this projector, you saw primary schools that we built. Not only that we built, we equipped it with desks for the pupils and also for the teachers. Now, tell me, who would have remembered such schools in such remote areas? The federal government, to the Ministry of Education, may not have seen it. The state government, of course, have mega resources. They don't expect them to renovate or build all schools. So that is where the lawmakers, through zonal intervention project, will come in to fill the gap, to do those small projects like schools, farm roads, solar street lights, helping indigent students, building for the poor, which I'm doing.
Some of the projects commissioned include roads with solar lights, 5 classroom blocks and houses for indigent women across the zone to ensure that vulnerable residents have a secure and dignified place to live.
He has done well. He has done very well. I didn't believe that he embarked on this kind of project. I never believed it. But today, I can attest, I can make bold to say we have a competent hand who is representing us. It's not only that he represents there by his voice being heard, it's also by implementation. We can see it. I believe very strongly all of us are witnesses of what we have seen today.
We, the member of both the two villages, including the staff and the peoples, we are very much grateful for the numerous love you have in our own community.
I commissioned this road in the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit.
Senator Ebonyi says ongoing work on rural roads through the constituency intervention funds will ease vehicular movement and enable farmers to transport their produce to markets without difficulty. However, he appeals to the federal government to also complete rehabilitation of federal roads to complement this effort.
We are trying to connect markets and farmlands, to make life better for the rural dwellers. This is grade C road, connecting the grade A road, which the governor is doing. This is complementary effort, to support what the federal government and the state government is doing in terms of infrastructure development, particularly in the hinterland. That is the only way to fight poverty. That is the only way to support our people and give them hope, like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing through the Renewed Hope agenda.
These projects are a direct result of the leveraging of zonal intervention projects to bridge the infrastructure gap in rural communities.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom Series. I'm Dominic Iwiu. For updates, kindly visit our website. That's www.channelstv.com.